Thank you. This is a little bit different than I planned, but now that they're already here, I'm going to allow them each up to 2 minutes if they want to say anything about what's on their mind, their agenda, and I'll allow them to introduce themselves rather than me do it. So starting from the right, I'll go.
My name is Dave Argall. I'm a state senator for Northern and with the new redistricting Western Berks, as well as 5 other counties. And looking forward to seeing some of you coming to Harrisburg in a couple of weeks to talk about a bill known as Senate Bill and House Bill 76. Last year, Representative Cox, who has led the fight with, I guess, 80 different statewide taxpayer groups, asked me to introduce the bill in the Senate. We are up to 22 co-sponsors, which is an all-time high. That's the good news. The bad news is we need to get the 26 votes. Representative Cox and Representative Caltagirone and their team have done a wonderful job in the House. They're going to tell you about that. But I'm not going to tell you it's a done deal, but we are closer than we have ever been before to putting a stake through the heart of the property tax beast here in Pennsylvania.
Good evening. It's good to see you all here. My name is Jerry Knowles. I represent Northern Berks and Eastern Schuylkill counties. And it's always good to come here. I commend you for coming out. I commend you for what you are doing and the part you play in this process. I know that the issue that is utmost on your mind is the elimination of school property taxes. I want to congratulate Senator Argall as well as Representative Cox. And also Representative Caltagirone, who worked very hard on this issue and they're continuing to push forward. I certainly credit them for that. I want to hear a little bit about transportation, because there was a transportation bill that I just had to vote on coming out of the Transportation Committee, the House Transportation Committee. I voted against it. I'll be glad to tell you why I did, but I'd like to hear a little bit from you guys throughout the evening about the transportation situation.
Thank you, Jerry. Well, I am State Representative Ryan MacKenzie. I represent a portion of Berks County. Currently, it's places like Valley, Bechtelsville, Hereford District, Washington. And in the new district, it'll represent parts of Berks County in Topton, Long Swamp, Richmond, Rockland, those areas. And then most of the district I represent is actually up in Lehigh County, centered around Lower Macungie, Emmaus, places like that. I came into office last year in a special election, and now I serve on a number of committees. One of the committees I'm on is the Labor Committee. I'm the Vice Chair of the Labor and Industry Committee. So bills that come before that committee, which I'm a strong advocate of, are things like changing our prevailing wage requirements here in Pennsylvania, and also getting Pennsylvania to be a right-to-work state. So I'm a co-sponsor on both of those pieces. Other things that I look forward to talking about are some of the things that I see coming down the pike that are real infringements on our rights. Things like Obamacare. I was at a seminar earlier today, and this is turning out to be more of a disaster than I think anybody ever imagined. And what we have done at the state level is we have stopped the expansion of Medicaid, and we've also stopped the state exchange from being set up. Those are the 2 big things that we could do at the state level. I also want to echo Jerry's sentiment and thank all of you for coming out tonight. It's grassroots activists like you that really bring issues to the forefront. And you know, we lead on these things in Harrisburg, but we need an army behind us sometimes. So thank you for coming out tonight.
How you doing? I'm Mark Rossi, the District 126. I am a freshman legislator. Just to give you an idea about, what my district is: Muhlenberg, Lauderdale, Lower Alsace, Mount Penn, St. Lawrence. I have part of the city of Reading along with Tom here. I will be losing Alsace Township and be gaining West Reading. There's no doubt that the #1 issue in my district is the school property tax. And it's something that it has to get done. And we can't let PSEA get in the way. We have to do everything we can to get this done for our residents. I can't tell you how many people call me and tell me that, hey, I just took out a credit line to pay for my school tax. That's insane. And when that credit limit is filled, then what are you going to do? You know, we're renting our homes from the school district. And I'll be honest with you, when we talked about these two guys here, there is nobody working harder in the house than Jim and Tom. I'm walking up and down the aisles, and I see Tom here just getting on everybody, talking to every legislator that's on our side of the aisle. This isn't a Republican, this isn't a Democrat, this is something that for the people that have to get done. As a small business owner also, one thing that I really want to see get done is the corporate net income tax has to come down. Right now we're about like 9.9, I think it is, and I would like to see that get down to 6. Some of the proposals that have been offered up though, you know, they want to stretch it out over 10, 12, 13, 15 years to get that down, where we need to do something now and encourage businesses to come to Pennsylvania. We need to become a business-friendly state, and by lowering the corporate net income tax, we will open that door to make it a fair tax for all the businesses across our time. Okay, and one last thing I just want to touch on. Our guns. I just want everybody to know out there that I am definitely pro Second Amendment here, and I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that our rights are preserved. Thank you.
I'm Tom Caltagirone. I just want to share with you, in working with my dear friend Jimmy Cox, for 3 weeks solid, I called over 100 members of the House, Democrats and Republicans. And through friendly persuasion and sometimes favors that I've done for a lot of members on both sides of the aisle, we were able to kick up the number from the 60s to 27 Democrats that got on and over 12 Republicans. We got to 93. The magic number was 102. And then PSEA, they were lying like a sleeping dog, and all of a sudden when they saw that it was getting up over 90, they got scared and they started forcing members to get off the bill. We lost 3, Fred Keller, 2 from Philadelphia that I had gotten, Mark Cohen, and he apologized to me yesterday, and Mike O'Brien. But I have 2 more, Bobby Gottschall from Montgomery County Republican and Schreibner from York County Democrat that might be getting on yet. They're thinking about it. So I'll probably get it up to 92. I said to Jimmy, I'm not going to give up. But I spent 3 solid weeks. We have a meeting set up in Philadelphia with Sherelle Parker. She's the chairwoman of the caucus for Philadelphia. There's 20-some members. Jimmy and I are going to get on there and try to convince those members to think about getting on. They're doing a reassessment in Philadelphia. It's going to shake them to the timbers. One other quick thing. Senator, I did talk to 5 of the Democratic senators. 2 of them, Caltagirone and Tony Williams. I got Tina thinking about it, and the other 3 I'm waiting on callbacks. So I reached over to my friends that I've served with in the Senate, working the Senate as well as the House. Take care.
I'm going to stay in so I can see everybody over here. If you'd rather me sit down, just let me know. Spare your vision. I'm honored to be here tonight, and I've got to start by saying that Senator Argall and Tom Caltagirone are both being way too modest. I've done a lot of work in the House, and you guys know that it's a headache putting a bill together and fighting the battle. But these 2 individuals have come up, they've gotten themselves up to speed on the issue, and they have really tackled it this session like nobody's business. They have, as was mentioned, last session in the Senate, we got up to 13 co-sponsors. We're at 22. That's a significant gain in the Senate. We had 70 co-sponsors in the House, and thanks mostly to the efforts of Tom, I went back and was able to get a lot of the same sponsors on the Republican side, reached out to a lot of the Democrats, so I got a lot of the same people on, we had lost about 10 members just who had retired or had been beaten in elections. So I had to make up for that loss and was able to get to 70, and then Tom kicked in, and again, he just attacked it and went crazy with it. And so don't let him be so modest about it. He has done a huge amount of work, and so has Senator Argall in pushing this issue and in talking to the senators and the reps. Tom has called in about every favor I can possibly imagine. And between the two of us, he's been able to call and I've been able to follow up. This has been my most, if I had to choose a favorite time in the House, this has got to be it, because we're seeing a tremendous bipartisanship. And I've worked with Tom on things before and other Democratic members, but this is the most bipartisan issue I've ever worked on, and it continues to grow, and it's due in large part to you.